Welcome to Home Brewing Essentials, Mastering the Basics. Today, we're going to demystify home brewing and take your coffee game to the next level. Let's start by selecting the right beans. We went to several cafes in the area. Most of them had over-roasted beans and didn't even know where they came from. With the taste, it was clear that they had been warehoused for several months, leaving a bitter, lackluster flavor in the cup, to say the least. We found a couple places with decent tasting coffee. One was a bit too dark roasted, but the coffee was only about 10 days from roast, which made it quite drinkable with the addition of steamed milk and caramel sauce. Still not quite ideal. One place actually had coffee that wasn't over-roasted, and it was only a couple of weeks old, but it was all done in large batches, and there was no connection to the people that roast it. We finally landed on Riverview Coffee Roasters' website for their artisan craft coffee, sourced ethically from remote regions and roasted to order by master roaster Ted Jones. We learned that we could have a relationship with the actual roaster of our coffee, and he dials our subscription into our liking. He also has a page on each special coffee on the menu, explaining who grows it, processes it, and how it tastes. It's also roasted to order and shipped out right away, so it arrives super fresh and at the pace we drink it. What more could we possibly want? It's really upped our coffee game and our quality of life. We go to bed looking forward to drinking it the next day. How awesome is that? After selecting the right coffee source, it's time to delve deeper into the world of coffee beans. Coffee beans are as diverse as wine grapes, with each variety and roast level offering a unique flavor profile. Arabica and Robusta are the two main species of coffee beans that you'll find in the market, with Arabica being considered the higher quality choice due to its delicate and complex flavor notes. Robusta, on the other hand, is stronger, more bitter, and contains more caffeine. Now let's talk about roast levels. Light roast, medium roast, dark roast, what does it all mean? Well, the roast level affects the taste of your coffee significantly. Light roasts are more acidic, with a subtle, nuanced flavor that lets the bean's natural characteristics shine through. Medium roasts strike a balance between acidity and a rich coffee flavor, while dark roasts are less acidic, with a robust, strong, smoky flavor that usually overshadows the bean's natural notes. Understanding your personal preference in terms of bean variety and roast level is key to elevating your home brewing experience. So experiment with different beans and roasts and see what you like best. Remember, there's no right or wrong choice here. It's all about what tastes best to you. Now, let's dive into brewing methods. We'll share a French press and an Aeropress recipe, showcasing how flavor is extracted differently with each method. Certain coffees and roasts pair better with specific brewing techniques, and we'll explore the nuances. Brewing amazing coffee at home has its perks. There's a value to using ultra-fresh premium coffee, and it trumps buying coffee out. Coffee varietals are like wine varietals in that each highlights different characteristics, and the processing methods also have an impact on flavor profiles. You can see how each coffee is processed and which varietals are used. Then enjoy getting used to the ones you like by looking at the single origin coffees available at Riverview Coffee Roasters and reading their details page. These are coffees that come from specific estates or tribal communities in specific growing regions of the best coffee producing countries. You'll see which ones they are by noticing the country they come from being in the name of the selection, such as El Salvadoran elephant bean. Read their story and have a connection to the coffee you're drinking, much like a fine California wine. In this scene, we'll delve into the fascinating world of coffee processing methods and how they influence the ultimate flavor profiles of your brew. Coffee processing refers to the method by which the fruit of the coffee cherry is removed from the beans before they are dried. There are three main methods: washed, natural, and honey. The washed method, also known as wet process, involves removing the pulp and skin from the cherry soon after it's harvested. This leads to a clean, bright, and acidic flavor. The natural method, or dry process, allows the cherry to dry around the bean, imparting a sweet, fruity, and complex flavor. The honey process, a hybrid of the two, leaves some of the fruit on the bean while it dries, creating a balance of sweet and acidic flavors. Each method brings out unique characteristics of the beans, adding another layer of complexity to the final cup. So the next time you sip your coffee, take a moment to appreciate the intricate processes that have helped shape its unique taste. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the art and science of brewing high-quality coffee. Quality over quantity is our mantra. One truly magnificent cup trumps a whole pot of mediocre coffee, leading to an improved quality of life. The best small batch roasters play a crucial role in this narrative, improving the lives of small plot coffee farmers by paying them a premium for their high standards, as well as bringing joy to homes across the United States with better coffee in their cups. Let's delve a bit deeper into the art of selecting the right beans. As we mentioned earlier, this is the first step towards brewing an exceptional cup of coffee. First, let's look at the cupping notes and farm notes for each selection on the menu. This should give us an idea of the coffees that sound the most delicious to each of us. Blends will be like a band with multiple instruments coming together for a well-rounded sound, while single origin coffees will have more of a unique distinction, much like a solo artist. Washed or wet processed. Coffees will be lighter and cleaner in the cup, while natural or dry processed coffees will be deeper in flavor and body. Honey process or pulp. Natural coffees will lie somewhere in between. Now, let's talk about Riverview Coffee Roasters beans. What sets them apart is their commitment to sourcing the freshest, highest quality beans from sustainable farms around the world. Sounds like every brand, right? This is the real deal though, not just a massive company with a marketing department that produces millions of pounds behind the scenes. These are coffees done in 10-pound batches with each specific customer in mind, from mum and pop farms that won't ever produce enough to be a big supplier, but truly live the lifestyle of loving what they do, producing the best tasting coffees in the world, much like a small fine winery. Each bag of the coffee is marked with the roast date, so you know you're getting the freshest beans possible. You can also check the roasting dates at the top of their website. And finally, let's discuss proper storage. To keep your beans fresh for as long as possible, store them in an airtight container at room temperature. Freezing the coffee if you have to keep it more than 2 weeks after roasting will also make a big difference, but this certainly isn't ideal. Remember, the right beans are the foundation of a great cup of coffee, so take your time, choose wisely, and savor the journey. Now that we've learned how to select the right beans, let's see these brewing methods in action. First up, we have the French press. We enjoy light roasted coffees that are floral or fruited with this brewing method, but any roast will do as long as you are flexible with adjusting the brewing variables, which we'll discuss further. Simply add your coarsely ground beans to the press with 17 grams of water for every 1 gram of grounds, or 2 tablespoons of coarsely ground coffee for every 5 ounces of water. Pour 195 to 205 degree water over them, or water that's just off boil. Let it steep for 4 minutes, then gently press the plunger down. Voila, you have a rich, full-bodied cup of coffee that's delicately nuanced. The grounds should be flaky like sea salt or crushed red peppers in order to achieve a clean cup of coffee that isn't bitter and has a natural hint of sweetness. This is similar to the Clever Brewer or Hario switch, but with a screen filter instead of a paper filter, which creates a thicker profile. You can watch the video called How to Brew Perfect Coffee at Home on the Riverview Coffee Roasters YouTube channel to see a detailed Clever Brewer tutorial with lots of other great info included. Next up, we have the Aeropress. This method is a bit more hands-on, but it's well worth it. We enjoy deeper medium roast or dark roast coffees with chocolate and nut notes with this brewing method, but any will do with some brewing adjustments. Add 18 grams or 4 tablespoons of finely ground beans into the chamber. Pour in the same temperature water that we used with the French press. Stir it for 10 seconds and let it steep for 30 seconds for darker roasts and up to 1 minute for lighter roasts. Then, place a filter in the cap, screw it onto the chamber, and press the plunger down over your mug. The result is a smooth, clean, and flavorful cup of coffee that can be diluted to taste. It's not espresso, but it is a brewing method designed to create a coffee concentrate. You can play with the amount of coffee, grind, and steeping time, then experiment with the dilution. You can also watch the video called Amazing Coffee When Traveling to see a detailed tutorial on the Aeropress. Remember, the key to extracting the best flavors is to experiment with the water temperature, grind size, and steep time until you find what works best for you. Watching the videos on this channel will teach you a lot. With these methods, you'll be brewing like a pro in no time. Having mastered the art of brewing using both the French press and Aeropress, we now turn our attention to 2 important variables in the coffee brewing process: the grind size and water temperature. These factors might seem trivial, but they can drastically affect the taste and quality of your coffee. Firstly, let's talk about the grind size. The grind size refers to how finely or coarsely the coffee beans are ground. For French press, we use coarsely ground beans. Think sea salt. On the other hand, the Aeropress requires a fine grind, similar to table salt. This difference in grind size is due to the extraction process of each method. When brewing, the water extracts the flavors from the coffee grounds. The finer the grind, the more surface area there is for the water to extract from, leading to a stronger brew. However, if the water extracts too much, it can lead to over-extraction, making your coffee taste bitter. Moving on to water temperature. The ideal temperature range for brewing coffee is between 195 and 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Water that's too hot can cause over-extraction, whereas water that's too cool can lead to under-extraction, resulting in a sour or flat-tasting brew. Remember, while these are general guidelines, the beauty of coffee brewing lies in experimentation. Don't be afraid to play around with grind size and water temperature to find what suits your taste buds the best. After all, the ultimate goal is to create a coffee experience that you thoroughly enjoy. As we've seen, brewing methods play a significant role in creating the perfect cup of coffee. But there's another factor that can make or break your brew: the freshness of your coffee. Freshness is key when it comes to coffee. Freshly roasted beans contain oils that give coffee its unique flavor and aroma. Quite quickly, these oils can evaporate, leaving your coffee tasting stale and lifeless. To illustrate, consider this. Imagine biting into a fresh apple versus one that's been sitting out for days. The difference in taste and texture is stark, isn't it? The same goes for coffee. Now, you may wonder, how do you decide what fresh coffee is? It's simple. Only use coffee that was just roasted in the last couple of weeks. And remember, only grind your beans right before you're ready to brew. Once you've ground the beans, they start staling within the hour. By having just roasted beans and grinding them to order, you retain as much of those precious oils as possible. So if you're striving for that perfect cup, remember this golden rule: fresh coffee equals better taste. Keep your beans fresh, and your coffee will thank you. Freshness doesn't only come from just roasted beans, it's also about how it gets to you. And that's what we're going to delve into in this scene. Once the coffee beans are roasted, they start their journey to your cup. If you're buying from a local roaster like Riverview Coffee Roasters, the beans might just take a few days to get to you. But if you're getting your beans from a supermarket or an online store, it might take weeks, even months sometimes. And remember, the clock starts ticking the moment the beans are roasted. So, how do you ensure you're getting the freshest beans? One way is to look for the roast date on the package. Avoid buying beans that don't have a roast date. And if you're buying online, check if the roaster ships the beans immediately after roasting. Remember, the goal is to get the beans from the roaster to your cup as quickly as possible. The fresher the beans, the better your coffee will taste. So, let's embark on this journey of freshness together, from the roaster all the way to your cup. Ever wondered what gives coffee its unique, complex taste? The secret lies in the oils of freshly roasted beans. These oils, or coffee bean essential oils, are produced during the roasting process. The heat causes the beans to release these oils, which are then absorbed by the coffee grounds during brewing. These oils carry a host of flavors, from fruity and floral notes to chocolatey and nutty undertones, depending on the bean variety. It's these oils that give your cup of coffee its unique taste and aroma. But here's the catch. These oils start to evaporate as soon as the beans are roasted, and the process speeds up once the beans are ground. This is another reason why freshness is paramount when it comes to coffee. The fresher the beans, the more oils they have, and the more flavorful your coffee will be. So the next time you sip a delicious cup of coffee, remember, it's the oils in those freshly roasted beans that are delighting your taste buds. Quality over quantity, remember? That's our motto when it comes to brewing coffee. One exceptional cup of coffee is far better than a whole pot of mediocre brew. Let's dive into the art of brewing a high-quality cup right in your own kitchen. First, it's all about precision. Measure your coffee and water accurately. Your coffee-to-water ratio is crucial. For a robust flavor in a drip or pour-over brew, we suggest a ratio of 1 to 15 coffee to water weight, or 2 tablespoons, for every 5 ounces you brew. It's good to have a digital gram scale in order to weigh the coffee and water. This is because it will improve your consistency and make every cup come out perfect every single time. Ever notice that one day your coffee comes out tasting pleasant, and another day it may be yucky? This is not only because of the coffee you're using, but also because of the grind and the coffee-to-water ratio. That's why another tool that will definitely up your game is a high-quality burr grinder. We recommend the Baratza Encore because it's a great entry-level grinder that gives the best value in quality versus price. Don't be tempted by cheap burr grinders that either don't provide consistent results or aren't actually burr grinders at all, such as this blade grinder. Next, pay attention to your brewing time. Over-extraction can result in a bitter taste, while under-extraction can leave your coffee tasting weak or sour. For a balanced brew, aim for a brew time of 3 minutes for a big mug or 5 minutes for a larger batch. You can watch videos such as Bonavita with Chemex for a more detailed explanation, or go to the footer of the Riverview Coffee Roasters website to find brewing tips and tutorials for several types of brewers. Lastly, let's talk about our partners in crime, small batch roasters like Riverview Coffee Roasters. They focus on quality by sourcing the best beans and roasting in small batches to ensure peak freshness. So remember, quality truly beats quantity when it comes to your cup of joe. By following these tips, you'll be savoring high-quality coffee every day. Now that we have understood the art of brewing high-quality coffee, let's delve deeper into the importance of precision. Precision is the key to unlocking the full potential of your coffee beans, and it starts with measuring your coffee and water accurately. As we mentioned earlier, the coffee-to-water ratio is crucial, but let's break it down further. When we talk about precision, we refer to the balance of flavors that you achieve by carefully measuring your ingredients. A digital gram scale can be your best friend here. It helps you to weigh both the coffee and water, ensuring a consistent and perfect brew every time. Remember, inconsistencies in your measurements can lead to variations in taste, but precision doesn't stop at measurements. It extends to the grind of your coffee as well. A high-quality burr grinder, like the Baratza Encore, can provide you with consistent grind sizes, which again is crucial for the perfect extraction, and hence, the perfect cup of coffee. Remember, precision in coffee brewing is not about being pedantic. It's about understanding the science behind the art of brewing and using it to your advantage to create the perfect cup every single time. So in the next cup of coffee you brew, pay close attention to your measurements and grind size, and notice the difference it makes. You'll be surprised at the difference a little precision can make in your coffee brewing experience. In the world of coffee brewing, time isn't just a tick on a clock. It's a crucial element that can make or break your cup of coffee. Just as we've emphasized the importance of precision in measurements and grind size, brewing time is another factor that demands your attention. To extract the perfect balance of flavors from your coffee beans, you need to brew them for the right amount of time. Over-extraction and under-extraction can lead to a bitter or sour cup of coffee, respectively. Let's take a French press, for instance. The ideal brewing time is around 4 minutes. If you let the coffee steep for too long, it will become over-extracted and bitter. On the other hand, if you plunge too soon, the coffee will be under-extracted and lack the full depth of flavor. Similarly, for an Aeropress, the recommended brewing time is about 1 minute. It's a faster process due to the pressure involved. You can contact Master Roaster, Ted Jones, anytime to discuss the art of coffee. Think of him as your coach. Okay, now we've covered a lot, from selecting the right beans and understanding brewing methods, to the importance of ultra-fresh coffee and the art of brewing high-quality coffee. But like any good recipe, the secret lies in the application. There's a dedication to precision and balance involved in coffee brewing. And remember, this is just a guideline. Having uncovered the secrets of brewing an exceptional cup of coffee, let's now shift our focus to the most exciting part of your coffee journey, the joy of experimenting. Coffee brewing is not just a step-by-step process, but an art form, an adventure filled with countless possibilities. Each bean, each roast, and each brewing method brings a unique flavor profile to the table. It's all about discovering what you love most. Remember, there's no right or wrong in coffee brewing. It's all about personal preference. Want to try a lighter roast with an Aeropress? Go for it. Curious about how a French press will enhance the flavor of a dark roast? Give it a shot. The magic of coffee is in its diversity, and the fun lies in exploring that diversity. Try playing around with the grind size and water temperature. Sometimes a minor tweak can make a significant difference in the flavor. Experiment with different brewing times to find the perfect balance for your palate. And don't forget about the role of freshness. Try brewing coffee at different stages post-roast to experience how the flavor evolves. Remember, this journey is yours to make. It's about finding that perfect cup that brings a smile to your face each morning. So, let's grab our coffee gear and dive into the world of experimentation, because the perfect brew is out there, waiting for you to discover it.